Is there a Santa Claus? An innocent question asked by the innocence of a child. Virginia O'Hanlon asked this in a letter to the editor of the New York Sun, September 21, 1897. And in a reply which is now known worldwide, the editor replied, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus."
Would you all come in here a moment? There's something I think you should be hearing. And right on the front page. Is there a Santa Claus? We take pleasure in answering at once, and thus prominently, the communication below, expressing at the same time our great gratification that its faithful author is numbered among the friends of the Sun. Dear editor, I am 8 years old. Some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says, if you see it in the sun, it's so. Please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? And it's signed, Virginia O'Hanlon.
Well, Papa, what does it say?
Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by the skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except what they see. They think that nothing can be which is not comprehensible by their little minds. All minds, Virginia, whether they be men's or children's, are little. In this great universe of ours, man is a mere insect, an ant in his intellect, as compared with the boundless world about him, as measured by the intelligence capable of grasping the whole truth and knowledge. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
December 24, 1955, Christmas Eve. A 5-year-old boy, with the help from a Sears advertisement, rang the hotline. And, like Virginia, the innocent question, where is Santa? Little did this boy know that this would spark a 69-year tradition.
One could ring up the jolly elf himself in the hopes of having a nice chat with him over the telephone. One particularly historic child, harboring such dreams of speaking to old St. Nick himself, intended to do just that. There was only one thing amiss. The number the child dialed connected the child instantly to Colonel Shoup. The colonel was understandably baffled. How could anyone, much less a child, get through on this line? While the colonel juggled 100 questions, the child had but one. Where is Santa? Where is Santa? Surely he's checking his list at the North Pole and making any final preparations for his annual trip around the globe. Will NORAD track him as he makes his way around the globe? Why, of course we will.
The phone number that this 5-year-old boy dialed was ME26681. The phone number to the hot phone reserved for the President or a 4-star general to call on. What was then known as the Continental Air Defense Command, now known as North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD. NORAD is a US-Canadian joint venture, and they have 3 mission-critical statements to perform: aerospace warning, aerospace control, and maritime warning. Now, just for argument's sake, let's label these 3 missions as Priority 1 missions. For 364 days of the year, this is all they do. But one day a year, on Christmas Eve, these 3 Priority 1 statements are superseded by a temporary critical mission. That mission is ensuring the safety of Santa Claus as he makes his deliveries. Not only is the command centre fully staffed, but there are also up to 1,000 volunteers who take up their position in the Santa Command Centre to answer phone calls from around the world, from children asking the important questions. Where is Santa? When will Santa get to my house? This year, in 2024, NORAD took more than 100,000 phone calls in 24 hours. That's a staggering 1.15 phone calls every second. Over the past 69 years, Santa has relied on the assistance from NORAD. Now, NORAD doesn't tell Santa what route to fly. That's left up for Santa. NORAD's task is to make sure that the airspace is safe. And over the years, Santa has given NORAD specifications of his sleigh. Recently, declassified technical information has been released by NORAD on Santa's sleigh. So let's take a look at these specifications and find out what makes Santa's sleigh so special.
Secret number 1. Santa's climbing speed is 1T, which stands for twinkle of an eye. And his max speed is faster than starlight. Number 2. Santa's sleigh is 150 lollipops long, 80 lollipops wide, and 110 lollipops tall. It's pretty big if you ask me. Secret number 3. Santa has never hit anything over his centuries of flying. From what NORAD knows, he seems to be a pretty good pilot. Secret number 4. How old is Santa? Well, it's kind of hard to know for sure, but NORAD intelligence indicates that Santa is at least 16 centuries old. Secret number 5 is, I guess, not much of a secret, but we don't really know how Santa gets down chimneys. We have a lot of theories and hypotheses, but we don't actually have any scientific data to explain the magical phenomenon. Secret number 6 is his first flight was approximately December 24th, 343 AD. This is obviously an approximation, so we can't be for sure, but that's our best guess. Kentucky? Well, he usually gets there between 9 p.m. and midnight, as long as everyone's asleep. So what time is it there now?
Gonna be ready for him?
7:40. So if you're in bed by 8:40, then he should be there in about an hour and a half. And if you go to bed a little later, then he should be there within the next 4 hours or so. Secret number 7. Santa typically starts at the international date line in the Pacific Ocean and then travels west. So he'll hit South Pacific and New Zealand first, and then he'll move up and down the Eastern Hemisphere, and then the Western Hemisphere. He goes from Australia to Japan, over to the rest of Asia, across to Africa, then to Western Europe, Canada, the United States, Mexico, and Central and South America. So he hits all of the countries, he hits all of the continents, but he tends to travel west. Secret number 8. What does Santa look like? So based on a flight profile gathered from 60 years of NORAD Track Santa, NORAD concludes that Santa is about 5'7" and weighs approximately 260 pounds before cookies. So he's probably a little heavier after Christmas Eve. We also know he's a pretty generous belly, rosy cheeks from the sleigh ride and the wind and cold weather, and of course a flowing white beard. And the 9th secret is that when Santa takes off from the North Pole on Christmas Eve, the presents weigh 60,000 tons. That's a lot of presents.
So now we've learned a few things about Santa. But there is one burning question I have. How does one man, 9 reindeer, and a sleigh travel around the world in 24 hours? Well, thanks to NORAD, I might just have that answer for you.
The best secret I might have for you is how Santa travels the entire world in 24 hours. This is what NORAD intelligence reports. Santa does not experience time the way we do. His trip seems to take 24 hours to us, but to him it may last days, weeks, or even months. Santa wouldn't want to rush the important job of delivering presents to kids around the world and spreading joy to everyone, so the only logical conclusion is that Santa somehow functions within his own time-space continuum. And if that's not the biggest secret about Santa that you may not have known, I don't know what it is.
So NORAD tracks Santa on Christmas Eve. But I wonder, has Santa ever been intercepted during his flight around the world? Let me introduce to you Major General William Radiff. And after we've heard from Major General Radiff, I have one more piece of evidence that Santa is real. In the United States, it is a federal offence to withhold, misdirect, or give to another person someone else's mail. So, if the United States Post Office can deliver mail to Santa, then Santa must be real.
NORAD continues to track Santa using new technology and the magic of one familiar Christmas figure.
The heat signature thrown off by that red nose is fantastic. And I can tell you from having flown, you can see his red nose from so far away, which is really good because Santa is so fast.
Major General William Radiff knows what it means to be fast. He's a former fighter pilot who flew side by side with Santa's sleigh.
To actually see jolly old Saint Nick and have him wave and say ho, 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 and to see the big red nose on Rudolph, I think that's probably my favorite memory.
Then, Your Honor, I offer these letters in evidence. They're simply addressed to Santa Claus, yet they were each delivered to Mr. Kringle by bona fide employees of the Post Office Department. I offer these as authoritative proof.
Your Honor, 3 letters are hardly authoritative proof.
I have further exhibits, Your Honor, but I hesitate to produce them.
Oh, I'm sure we'd all be glad to see them. Oh, yes, indeed. Put them on my desk.
On your desk?
Yes, yes.
Very well, Your Honor. Your Honor, every one of these letters is addressed to Santa Claus, and the post office has delivered them to my client. Therefore, the United States government recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, as Santa Claus.
If the United States of America believes this man is Santa Claus, then this court will not dispute it. Case dismissed.
Thanks, Your Honor, and a Merry Christmas to you.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Kringle.
Oh, I got your note. It made me very happy.
Oh, I'm glad, Chris. Won't you come to dinner tonight?
Tonight? No, I'm working tonight. You see, it's Christmas Eve.
So, if the New York Sun, NORAD, the United States Post Office, and the United States government recognizes that Santa is real, then to all the Virginias, the Toms, Terrys, Christophers, Tiffany's, Lana's, Jeremiah's, Jose's, and to all the children, and children at heart, in the words of Francis Church from the New York Sun, yes, there is a Santa Claus. Merry Christmas. I'll see you all in 2025.